What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of Filthy Rich season 1 episode 7. And again, remember, they said it's only a couple of more episodes left. You know they didn't renew it. If you like the show, y'all need to reach out to the network. Y'all need to email, tweet, do all that other stuff that y'all know. Y'all know what y'all need to do if y'all want to see another season. But we're going to go ahead and roll with what we have. So, this episode starts off, they are burying towns. Victoria is there in all her drunken glory. And Margaret is playing nice. Franklin is playing nice because what they trying to do, they need to get a hold of those shares of the club, the little Sunshine Club, whatever club, before Paul gets to him, the preacher. Because remember, Towns bought up all of Vince's shares. And so it's just down to 2 or 3 of them left. And they're like, we need to get in front of this before we end up in the same position we were in before, with one person owning all of the shares or whatever and controlling us. Then you have Eric and his wife. She is, she's still feeling like Eric is cheating on her, which, I mean, he is. But she thinks it's a lot bigger than what it really is. And she finds the sheet with the names on it, and that's what she thinks are all the women that Eric cheated on her with. So Margaret gets the money together for the kids. Remember, all of them are gonna get $6 million each. And Margaret says, "Listen, you got a choice. Either I can give you this one little check for $6 million, but you never get another dime from me again, or you can reinvest this $6 million, become a full-fledged part of the family, and you can get your slice of the pie. You be invested in the Sunny Club or whatever." Well, you already know. Ginger was like, "Give my money." Okay, give my money. Miguel took the money, and Margaret was actually shocked because remember, he was actually working for her, and she thought he had her in the pocket, and he was like, "I can't explain now. It's more to the story. I can't explain to you, but I got to do what I got to do, Margaret. But please know I love you. I appreciate everything you did for me." Eric, of course, was like, "I don't want the money. Put it back into the club, whatever, whatever." Rose took her money, and I mean, well, no, did she take the money? Yeah, she took the money. And of course, Margaret was shocked at that too. So she took the money, and then the brother shows up from Colorado. He's all upset. He's all distraught. He's, acting funny. He's acting different. Rose is like, "What's going on?" Because, her and Rose had that little thing going on. And, he basically was like, "I'm going to take my money and get out of here." And he lets Rose know. He was like, "Listen, at the end of the day, I need this money to take care of my family. Like, my family is broke. My family is poor. And up until, a couple of weeks ago, I was a disappointment to them. And this is the best thing I can do for them." But what we find out is, remember last week, the brother asked him to kill him. And I think he went through with it. I say I think because I'm not 100% sure that he did, but I think he did. Okay, we're going to get to that later. Ginger and Rose are taking their money, and remember, Ginger is investing in Rose's clothing line. And of course, Margaret is like, "What? Your clothing line?" And she was like, "See, Daddy was the only one that ever believed in me. You don't believe in me, but I'm going to take my money and we're going to make it happen." Now, she sends Franklin out on a mission to go get them shares from Victoria. Now, remember, Franklin and Victoria have been sleeping together. You know what I'm saying? And she thought now that Towns was dead, that it was going to be her and Franklin and everything was going to be everything. And Franklin was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, so now you want me. Now that your husband is dead, it's cool. Now you want to be with me." And basically, she was like, "Oh, so that's what it is. You just been using me all these years, and I know that's what you want. You just here for Margaret. All you want is are the shares." And so she ends up walking off and telling Margaret basically she could stick it and where to go and how to get there and all that good stuff. And Franklin lets Margaret know, like, "Listen, basically, I wouldn't play ball. I wouldn't be her little concubine anymore, so she wouldn't sell me the shares." Now, all I'm gonna say is this, Franklin. You've been taking one for the team. You could have just took one more for the team. You knew that. Listen, you could have, rubbed her down one good time, got them shares, and then you could have dipped. Like, come on now, you knew what it was. Stop playing. Stop acting like you want to get all indignant now. Like you knew you was messing with a married woman. Like, stop acting like it was on her. It wasn't on her. Y'all was both playing that game. Now, throughout this episode, we see flashbacks of Franklin and Margaret when they were kids. And hey, I had it all wrong. Come to find out, Margaret was not like some rich, didn't come from some rich family. And Franklin worked for her family, and they grew up like, little kids growing up together. But one was the help, and one was nah. Both of them was the help. And basically, Margaret's mom pawned her off on Eugene. Eugene was the rich dude, the asshole, typical frat guy, womanizer. And her mom basically pawned her off on Eugene, so she could get that money, marry rich, and all that good stuff. So her and Franklin have been friends, like for real friends, like from the grave friends. Like they used to, serve the rich kids type thing. And so that gives you a different insight on their friendship because, again, I had a different impression of what their friendship really was. I ain't even gonna front. I ain't gonna lie. So Margaret rewards Eric and makes him CEO, which is what he wanted from the beginning. And, he ends up telling her what he found out about how they made their money off of these hurricanes. And she was just like, damn, every time I think I got a hold on what it is and how bad it is, like, I'm right back where I started. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Well, she don't say that, but and so now she's trying to figure out what she's going to do before this hits the fan about how basically they made their money off of natural disasters, about how their father basically built those, that low income housing just to make money off of hurricanes and stuff like that. Now, Ginger and Eric's wife are getting real close, hunty, because she is feeling a little something for Ginger. She even went past Ginger's hotel room to confront her and want to find out which one of the girls was sleeping with Eric. And she had that list of names. And when she showed Ginger the list of names, Ginger was like, girl, these are hurricanes. Like, what? Come on. And guess who was in the room with Ginger? The reporter. So Ginger done hit it up with the reporter. And Ginger told her, Ginger said, listen, I love who I love. Whether they're a man, they're a woman, I go with my heart, and it is what it is. So, like, I don't, pigeonhole myself into love. And you really need to explore it, too. And she was like, I can't do that. Like, I'm a married woman about to have a baby. She was like, girl, you really need to stop stifling yourself and really go ahead and let yourself be free. Now, in the meantime, they back down to the motel getting ready for the fashion show. Miguel goes down there to talk to his mom. Now, remember last week we saw the mom, Yammy, whatever, rolling out with one of the 1820 dudes, the guy that was going to set up the fight. Well, all of a sudden now, she's got a championship fight set up for her son, right? But here's the catch. He got to throw the fight. Throw the fight to set up the rematch, to set up the three, to set it up, for the whole thing. And he was like, I can't do that. He was like, we don't need the money anymore. Like, we got the $6 million. And she was like, $6 million ain't nothing. Like, we can take that $6 million and we can flip it. Like stop, stop limiting yourself, right? And then she ends up telling her story. And come to find out, she got pregnant by Eugene, and the 1820 offered her money to abort the baby and, a little bit of money to live off of. And when they found out that she kept the baby, they took the money and then they broke her hands because she was actually a boxer. Broke her hands so she couldn't box. And so, all these women have a story with these guys, right? And so that ended up being, her story. And of course, Miguel then wanted to go and fight them. And he was like, she was like, we're not going to fight them that way. Like, we ain't going to never win doing it that way. We got to play the game the way I'm telling you to play the game. We're going to come out on top. Now, I'm with Miguel. Like, I got $6 million in the bank. I don't need to be out here boxing nobody. Like, you tripping. So, now remember, the brother that's not really the brother, the Colorado brother, he ended up leaving with Victoria. Now, remember, Victoria is really his mother. And Franklin actually let Margaret know that. When he ran, because when Victoria was leaving and after she done went off on Franklin and told him he wasn't gonna get her shares, he got in the limo with her, and they're in the limo leaving, and she lets him know, look, like, I'm your mom, and he was like, you're my mother, but of course it's not really him, it's the brother that he just died, he just killed, right? So he's already feeling guilty, and that makes him, I'm sure, feel even worse. And she was like, "Well, let me take you somewhere. Let me take you somewhere." So she ends up taking him to church, to the pastor Paul, to Paul's church or whatever. Um, so that he could, he didn't tell her what was wrong, but so he could feel better. Now, Paul actually approaches Franklin and tries to offer him to come and work for the 1820. And Franklin was like, huh, "Oh, really? Like, now all of a sudden you want me to come and work for y'all? Like, work with y'all? Like, that ain't even how this is about to go down, right?" But that was cute. So down to the motel, the ladies are getting ready for the fashion show. They figuring out what they're gonna wear, and Ginger convinces Eric's wife that she needs to go ahead and get in the fashion show. Rose is freaking out; she's losing it. Ginger is keeping it all together. Now the woman that Eric is sleeping with, she was supposed to do the finale, but Ginger ends up letting the wife do the finale and put on the wedding, because it's the wedding dress, and lets her do the finale. And the woman, and she ends up knowing that that's who Eric is sleeping with, right? It's just that, I guess, that woman intuition, honey. She knows who her husband's sleeping with, child. So, oh, hold on. So right before the fashion show, the two ladies end up meeting up, and they sort of had that conversation, like, "So you sleeping with my husband?" "Yep, I'm sorry." She was like, "Listen, like, I never looked at you as a person." And I'm like, "What you mean you never looked at me as a person? Like, you sleeping with my husband?" And she was like, "It is what it is." She said, "I mean, I guess we supposed to catfight or something, but I ain't even got it in me." Um, but it was a very civil situation, because I think that the wife is just like, "Listen, he is who he is. He's sleeping with he's sleeping with you. He cheating on me. He doesn't really love me. I'm stuck with this baby." Like, she's really feeling some kind of way about the whole situation. Um, Franklin and Margaret are having a serious conversation, and Franklin lets Margaret know, like, "Listen, you need to just let this go. Like, you need to let your kids go. You need to stop being such a mama bear. They're grown. It's time for them to leave the nest. It's time for them to fly. And you can still be their mama, but you don't have to control their life. You don't have to be in charge of everything." Now remember, what was his name? Hanuman, who really was the one who killed Towns. Now they think it was a suicide, but he really killed Towns. Now we see that he's stalking all of them, and he's got his eye on Miguel's son, right? On Jesus. Talking about, he started quoting all the scripture about him being the promised one, and he's going to be the salvation of his all. And then he see Eric's wife that's pregnant, and he's talking about how her child is like the demon seed that needs to be, taken care of. So he's dangerous, and he's a little bit special, so we got to keep our eye on him. Now, the fake brother, the one that's been, pretending to be the heir that that we think killed his brother, because I'm still not sure how that went down. He ends up, like I said, he went to church with Victoria, and he actually ends up confessing to Paul what he really did. And of course, I'm sure that's going to come back and play out on the other side, because we know that Paul is really trying to get control of the whole situation. And if they expose this secret, that first of all, that he's not even really the son, and then that he actually killed the real son, like, oh, they're gonna turn this into a whole Cain and Abel situation. You know what I mean? The fashion show was really nice, and they actually did the fashion show and simultaneously was showing the church service where the guy was confessing himself. I mean, he didn't confess that publicly, but so of course Rose saw that on the camera and was like, "Oh my gosh, like, he's at the church." Ginger was like, "Girl, don't worry about him. He ain't here. It is what it is. He dealing with his own shit. Don't worry about that." So Eugene actually shows up, right? And she was saying how, "I really wish my father could be here to see me now. How do you think he would feel about this?" And of course, Eugene is up in the skybox, of course, looking out and seeing everything, right? So at the end, Eric is actually there and sees his wife walk down the runway in that wedding gown, and they actually put like angel wings on her and everything, and it was real like angelic. And his little mistress came up to him and tried to get up on him, and he was like, "That's my wife up there." And it was like almost like he was renewed, and he done fell in love all over again with his wife, honey. He wasn't even thinking about that mistress, because he told his mother that he's really trying to do the right thing, but his dad was a cheater, and maybe it's just in his blood to be a cheater. And she was like, because you got my blood in you too, and I ain't got those problems, right? So he's trying to do the right thing. So he's gone off to go meet up with his wife. Eugene rolls up on the reporter at the fashion show, and the reporter was like, "Wait a minute, you supposed to be dead." He was like, He was like, "But I got some stories to tell you. You want to hear them?" So Eugene done linked up with the reporter, and once again, I don't know if the man really not. With every episode, I'm believing more and more that he really is alive, and it really is him, and he's not dreaming or something. But child, I don't know. Then at the end, baby, we see Margaret and Franklin, and she kisses Franklin, and Franklin kisses her back. And then she gets up and she walks to the bedroom, and Franklin gets up and Franklin says, "Listen, if we do this, everything is going to change." And she said, "I hope so." And that's where it ended. So listen, y'all let me know what y'all think, child. I don't know. I saw that coming though. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.